In this lesson, we are going to see how is the prompt engineer based on AI agents, because this type of prompts is more for automations, or is about prompt engineer in general. But when you think about it, AI agents, there are two groups. One is the what's happened? One is the controller prompt. Controller prompt will be for controller agents, controller. What does this mean? What is controller agents and controller prompts? These are the agents that have a predefined task to achieve. In this example, we have a list of the lead. But let's say that we want to use a couple external tools to evaluate if the lead is hot, what is the category, any other categorization or tool. What we are going to change here, if we open that, we have here role, a task, and expected output format or expected result. Now we are going to add new sections. That's I'm going to open the sources that we have, open the template, and here the template. Role, we are going to keep role, and context here is super important for AI agents. And controller agents, I will say from 0 to 10 is number 6, helpful. It's still optional, but so helpful. Tasks, we have to keep tasks for sure, but here we introduce tools, and we are going to define the name of the tool and this a briefly description about it. Here the response format is depend on. If the AI agent has a next step after the agent, sure, we have to include it. If not, it's not needed. A couple input outputs, again, that's depend on if there is any other step after AI agent, but you can change here input, gain, tools to call, and behaviors. Say that we can say the controller AI agent can use classification prompts, can use extract information prompts as well, because could be use external tools, and in the end of the flow send a couple emails or stores in the database or both in the same time. Controller generation as well, we can use it. We can use all this stuff, but you have to keep in mind the difference between the controller agents and then another one that is autonomous agent and autonomous and prompt for autonomous agent is that we are going to define what will be the task and the step by step. And the next one is we are going to see free agents, but free agents means autonomous agents. These agents has a goal instead of a predefined task. Let me give you an example. Let's say we have a typical AI assistant, right? And the AI assistant, basically the AI assistant doesn't have any one predefined task. It has two goals. Because, for example, the AI assistant can send emails, look for in the internet, look for in database, searching database, and any other kind of actions. And here, in autonomous agent, I will say the context come a requirement, because the context provide context about to the agent for sure, but extra information about how achieve the goal. And in the task, we are going to write down. It's more about how fix the task. Even we can use a chain of thought here. We can use like a breaking down the task in 4 steps and write down these steps. And tools here is so important because the description of the tool It's important because this way the AI agent can know what kind of tool use in which situation. But there is something that I would like to show you. It's more about reasoning prompts and chain of thought that you can combine with the prompt is this beautiful node. Is think node. The AI agent will use this think node as a chain of thought or for reasoning. I think we can test it here because we are very. Let's see this here. This needs a description about why the AI agent will use that. But in this case, let's keep this way testing, and let's see if the AI agent uses it. In this case, it's not needed, but don't worry. The AI agent use the thin module as a reasoning node. It's so useful when you have an AI agents autonomous and you have a type of reasoning prompt or chain of thought. To summarize, what's happened here? What is changing when we have a comparison between AI agents and automations? Context is required, or at least on autonomous agents. For controlling agents, I would say I recommend use it. Tasks on AI agent controller will be kept in the same way. Even you can list when call each of the two. For example, call Wikipedia and after that call Reddit, create a summarize and store in the database. It's predefined tasks, always the same. And the tools here will define what is the action of each of the two. Response based on if your AI agent will execute the next step after it. If not, it's not needed because it finally is final when the final action. Input, output, the same, depend on if you have a next step before the agents or you can provide input and action expect. Rules, keep it the same way, is optional, always is needed, and you can apply, to summarize, you can apply each of the type of prompts, depend on the situation. I will say that all of them work well with controlled, and with autonomous, the best way is reasoning prompts and think of the top. Don't worry about this theory because you will find all this information on the sources or GitHub sources. In the next lesson, we are going to use all these concepts. We are going to create a real world example and set up a couple external useful tools such as Airtable, Supabase, and more than this. See you next.